guys.
Well, hello, Monica. I haven't seen you since club last week. Have you been busy?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. A lot of stuff came up unexpectedly over the past week. Probably going to be a little bit of a headache for me for a while. But I'm sure it'll all turn out well in the end.
Was it stuff about the club? I remember you had that meeting with the student council.
And that was part of it, yes. But nothing you guys need to worry about. Like I said, I'm sure it'll all work out.
Well, if you're confident, then I'm confident.
I'm always confident. Hi, Sayori. How are you feeling today? Hello, Monica. I'm fine. Despite everything, I'm fine. See, can we spend time together during breaks and stuff again today?
Yeah, I'd love to, of course.
Yay! I'll see you at our usual spot then. Bye, MC!
Bye, Bun, I'll miss you.
What was that about?
What do you mean?
She seemed weirdly upset with me. And she never gets upset. Did I do something to upset her? Like, has she mentioned anything?
Well, no, not to me. As far as I can tell, everything's been better for her than it ever has. In fact, she's been really happy and grateful about you in particular recently. I think she was really glad when you invited her over last week. She had a lot of fun.
I wonder what it could be then.
Who knows, I guess. Maybe she's just a little irritated in general. Her therapist warned her that her emotions might be a little erratic as her depression gets better. She said that has, in fact, been happening to her. And she said it was a little like changing the furniture in your room around and not knowing how to feel about it. Only the room is your brain.
I guess that makes sense. I hope she feels better soon. And isn't mad at me. She's too good a friend. I think I have enough stress without having to worry about any negativity from Sayori.
It was kind of weird and stressful. She's always so positive. Seeing her act with genuine irritation is really horrible seeming by comparison. I think we'll all have to accept that Sayori's not just going to be super positive all the time. She's going to have her ups and downs like everyone else now. And better some minor downs now and again rather than the really big awful ones, you know? But you know, I'd take her no matter what the ups and downs were.
I know you would. And I think your words about accepting her growth are very wise. Take good care of her today, okay, MC?
I always try to. Take good care of yourself. Don't do that thing you do where you give yourself way too much work because you're hyper-competent and think you can do everything.
I'll do my best. Have a good day, MC.
And that's what we mean by the fundamental rights of the citizen.
Natsuki and MC both look fairly bored.
Hey, MC.
What's up?
Play Animal Crossing?
I don't want to. That game seems like a job. Getting up, doing a bunch of chores, having to actually sleep in a game. No thanks.
Oh, okay. But your games aren't at all like jobs. Right now, in that game you were playing last night on Steam, doesn't that game have like 6 resource currencies?
Yes?
Uh-huh. And right now you're also playing a city manager where you have to worry about paying people monthly wages, right?
Look, I know where you're going with this, but that's totally different. Yes, my games are also like jobs. But they're management games. I get to order the peons around and make them execute the master plan. Whereas in Animal Crossing, you have to walk around and personally do a bunch of scut work. And that's just not my style.
Okay, you may have a point there. I can see why ordering people around is a better job than doing the manual labor yourself. However, I still have an excellent reason why you should play Animal Crossing anyway.
What's that?
Sayori loves it. And you could totally help her out in it. It would probably really make her day. Like, you could set up a little surprise scenes and gifts for her. And then she'd be like, "Oh, MC, that's so thoughtful of you. You're the best boyfriend ever."
Yes, I'm sure that's exactly how it would go down. Your Sayori impression needs work, by the way. She's way more excited than that.
Yeah, whatever. How's the little energy ball doing, by the way? Therapy going all right for her?
Yeah, it seems to be going okay. The therapist even occasionally talks to me to get more insight, as he says, into her problems. But yeah, she seems to be getting better. Very slowly, but better. There was something that happened earlier this morning, though, which made me a little worried.
What was that?
Well, MC freezes as the teacher starts to pick a student at random to answer a question. But the teacher picks someone else. Well, earlier today we were talking and Monica came up. And for apparently no reason, Sarah just snapped at Monica. I've never seen her be so snippy with anyone. And I can't think of what Monica might have done to piss her off. If anything, it seems like they've been getting along extra well lately. Siri was talking about how good a friend Monica was all last week. I mean, I guess it wasn't really that bad. She was just a little icy and curt. It was just really weird coming from her, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess it does. And you really have no idea what caused it?
Well, maybe a little. Her therapist did tell her to expect some emotional turmoil as she improves. So, honestly, I can't think of anything that caused it. But hopefully it was just a little bit of random irritation.
Yeah, I hope so. Do you want me to talk to her about it? Make sure she's doing alright? I know it probably gets a little awkward for you to do it all the time. Plus, you'd probably rather be smooching than doing a ton of emotional work all the time.
Well, honestly, I don't mind the emotional work. I know what I signed up for with her, and it's what I want. Honestly, it's what I care about most. Nothing matters more to me than making sure she's happy and safe. But she might get tired of me being super inquisitive all the time. It might help if she talks to her instead of me, especially since I already brought up the topic once.
Consider it done, bud.
Thank you, Natsuki.
Of course. One question. When she snapped, was she pissy with everyone, including Monica, or just with Monica?
Just Monica.
I see.
Monica is doing her usual cleaning and maintenance of the club room.
Oh, hello again. What a wonderful surprise to see you here. We haven't had much time to ourselves recently, have we? Oh, even I get caught up by the text box sometimes. I was just thinking that it would be wonderful if we could do...
Monica lowers her voice when you whisper.
I wonder who that could be. Who knocks at the clubroom door? For all anyone else knows, this room is supposed to be empty right now anyway.
Monica goes to the door to open it.
Oh, hello. Hi, Monica. I hoped I'd find you here. Miss Ida, lovely to see you again. Although I didn't know why you'd think to find me here, the club doesn't meet until much later. Well, actually, I planned on leaving a note in here initially. But then I heard someone talking inside, so I thought maybe it would be you. That's why I knocked first. I see. Well, I do tend to spend a bit of time here on the club partner. Time here on club days. I spend a bit of time tidying up so that things are inviting for the club members when they arrive. Well, that's very kind of you. Least I can do. I don't really do much as the club president.
Monica stares meaningfully straight ahead.
So, it's nice to be able to do something. Well, I know it's not true that you don't do much else as the club president, but I was hoping to talk to you briefly about the club if I could. I have a request to make. Oh? What's that? Well, you know how every student has a faculty counselor? Sure. Well, I have a student right now who I'm counseling. They get pretty good grades in general and are a strong overall student, but they've been struggling with literature appreciation for English classes. Ah, I see where this is going. You sure do. I was hoping maybe the student would be able to visit with the literature club for a while, for a bit of extra credit. I've already arranged it with their English teacher, but obviously I wanted to clear it with you first, before I sent them over. Well, any student's free to come join in the literature club. Although getting credit for attendance can cause problems with the student council. Oh, you don't need to worry about that. This wouldn't be credit in exchange for attendance. You'd have to write essays on things you guys were reading or working on. Just a private arrangement between them and their teacher. It doesn't depend on the club. I just thought the club could help facilitate their work. Well then, I don't see why not. I'll run it by the club just to make sure they're all fine with another member. Sometimes they can be a little introverted, but I'm sure they'll be fine with the idea once I explain what's going on. Yeah, so about that. The student I'm talking about is Kenzo. And I know he has a little bit of a history with Sayori. And that Sayori and MC are together now. So if this will cause drama in the club, feel free to say no. That's really what I wanted to mention to you. But I really do think it would help him if you took him under your collective wings a bit. Well, I certainly don't have a problem with it. Like I said, as far as I'm concerned, anyone's welcome to the club. But like you say, there might be drama. Let me talk about it with the club later today, and I'll let you know. However, I feel pretty comfortable giving you a tentative yes. The club is full of mature people. I'm more than confident that we can handle it. So I'd say, let's plan on moving forward with it. When are you wanting him to start? Well, that will depend on him, in large part. But I'm hoping next week, if it ends up being alright with everyone. That sounds like a plan. I'll let you know, or I'll let you or him know what the club decides when I speak to them today. Just stop by my office tomorrow and let me know. Will do. Thanks for stopping by, Miss Ida. Thank you for being so gracious about my request. Of course. I guess she probably wants Kenzo to help her figure out what's going on in the literature club. I might be being paranoid about that, I guess. But I should probably act as though that is her idea. I wonder if Kenzo is also in on it. I should probably talk to him and try to figure that out. And hopefully this actually will not cause much drama in the club. I'll have to be careful to make sure of that. But you're probably a bit worried about all of this. You're thinking, man, this sure seems like it's going to cause problems for Monica. But don't you worry. I always have a plan for things. It might be a little bit of drama, but you have my solemn assurance as Literature Club President that everything will be fine. I promise.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, MC and Sayori are sitting together. Somehow I must separate them briefly so that I can figure out what's going on with Sayori. This calls for tactical Natsuki planning. Pen pending. Anyway, I was thinking something, and then a purple girl popped up and made it go away. If I approach from the southeast, cautiously, I should be able to gain...
Sneaking up on Sayori again.
Gah! How do you do that?
Oh, it's quite trivial.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Anyway, no, I'm not sneaking up on her this time. MC wanted me to talk to her one-on-one about something important. But the big doofus never leaves her side, so that makes it hard. So I was just calculating ways to temporarily separate them.
Well, I can help again if you want. Maybe I could pull MC away for you, and then you could talk to Sayori. How long do you need with her?
Probably the rest of lunch, really.
Sounds serious. What is it, if I may make so bold as to ask?
Well, she was just acting a little strangely this morning. She seemed irritated with someone for no real reason. And MC was concerned and wanted to make sure everything was okay since that's so out of character for her.
Although, surely that's to be expected given her treatment, yes?
MC seemed to think so, but I also think he wants to be sure and take every precaution. So I thought I would help him by asking her. Since she probably gets a little tired of him asking if everything is all right all the time.
That's very kind of you. Shall I get MC's attention for you and create a little bit of privacy?
Yeah, if you think you can swing it, go for it.
This can only end poorly.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad that's settled then. Oh, hey, Yuri, how's it going? Don't see you often in the lunchroom.
Yes, it's a little too crowded for my tastes. Anyway, Sayori, do you mind if I borrowed MC for a little while? I wanted to talk to him about his experience dating you for the mod I'm making.
What mod are you making exactly?
Yes, go ahead, take him. I'll see you at the next break, right, MC?
Of course. Looking forward to it, Sayori-chan.
It sounds so formal when he calls me that now. Makes me feel happy, though. This seat taken. Well, it wasn't until a second ago, but I think MC's going to be talking to Yuri for the rest of lunch. She wanted some help with her mod. I see. But you don't mind if I sit here for a minute and chat? No, of course not. How's it going? Are you still popular? I don't know how to answer that. I guess I do still hang out with the popular girls, and some of them do kind of look up to me, which is really weird, to be honest. So yeah, I guess I am. But anyway, I wanted to talk about you, not me. Oh, me? Well, I wanted to know more about what you're doing with your other friends. We can talk about that after. But I just wanted to check in with you, you know? It's been a while since we talked. How have you been doing recently? Oh, fine, I guess. Okay, but like, really fine? Or Sayori fine? I guess I don't really know what you mean by Sayori fine. Well, sometimes you kind of pretend to be okay when you're not, you know? And, man, I really suck at this. I'm kind of terrible at trying to be a good friend for you. I think you're doing a great job. I think you should skip to the part about the specific thing that's bothering you. You're kind of creepy when you do that. It's like you can read my mind. That's because I can. Just kidding. It's just pretty obvious that you have something in particular you're trying to lead into. Can't get anything past you. Yeah, there's something. Someone other than Monica told me that you'd kind of snapped at Monica this morning out of nowhere. And that's very strange for you. So I wanted to make sure you were feeling okay. And that everything was all right with you right now, I guess. Yeah, everything's fine. I was just feeling a little irritated this morning for no real reason. The doctor warned me that things like that might happen. And I might just have weird emotional outbursts. So I think it was just kind of generally angry suddenly. I'm not sure why. Uh-huh. Look, Sayori. Like I said, I'm not very good at this. I don't know what it's like to deal with the problems you have. And I'm sure it's really, really hard. But I do know one thing that hopefully will help you. When your friends really want to help you, if you trust them, you should always be honest with them about your problems. Even if that is hard to do. It saves everyone a lot of trouble in the long run. Anyway, no matter what you do, feel good about yourself, okay, kiddo? I'll try. Good enough for now. Have a good rest of the day, Sayo.
Oh, that went much better than I expected. Well, that idea is surprisingly conventional coming from you.
Conventional? Not exactly how I would have described it, given the protagonist.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. But other than that, it's a pretty normal mod.
Yeah. Do you think that's a bad thing?
Neither good nor bad, I think. It all depends on how you write it and make it work. Not everything has to be super groundbreaking.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Plus, if nothing else, it'll be fun to write. Thanks for your feedback, MC.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, on to the really interesting questions. You finally have everything you ever wanted with Sayori. Is it everything you ever dreamed?
Well, I wouldn't say I've gotten everything I ever wanted. I still feel really troubled because of her mental illness. Plus, I really do hope to get married and have kids and stuff. Even if that's way in the future and we're living the same years of our lives over and over again forever. But yeah, as long as she has that really deep, dangerous depression, I don't know, I guess it just feels like being an official couple is only the beginning. We've got a long way to go until we really cross the happiness finish line, I guess.
Well, I think part of that is very wise. But specifically, the part about becoming a couple being the beginning. But I don't think there's going to be a finish line to happiness, to put it that way. People always have this tendency to think, okay, once this problem is solved, then I can enjoy life. Once I get this thing I really want, then I can enjoy life. But there's always some new thing to worry about, or new thing to want. People end up forgetting to enjoy what they have right in front of them, while they're waiting for things to be perfect.
Too true, man.
MC, it might be that Sayori will ever or never really be done with her depression. It'll just be a thing that has good days and bad days. And maybe it'll get better, but it won't ever completely go away. That is possible. You should enjoy being with her fully, now, and treasure every moment to the utmost. If possible, without fear or apprehension. I think that's the real way to try for happiness.
Yeah, you're probably right. She is right. It's just hard because of everything, yes.
I know, and it must be very easy to hyper-focus trying to make sure she's completely okay before you consider the situation safe. But you know, do you remember the advice we gave you back when you weren't sure about whether to pursue her? About how you could never be safe in love, and you have to embrace risk and pain and discomfort for the sake of good things.
Yes. I see. The same thing applies here, you mean?
Well, maybe not exactly the same thing. You were seeing it as a one-time risk, a big jump that you had to take or not. But really, you have to be constantly embracing the risk, and affirmatively choosing to seek out happiness in every moment. No matter what big scary risks or fears you may have. That's the way to really be happy.
I see. Sometimes I wonder where you get all these sage life advice from.
I have cultivated a very rich inner world, and thereby garnered much wisdom.
Well, I'm lucky to have such a sage, wise friend. Maybe I'll spend some time with Sayori this evening, and just try to enjoy being with her without worrying.
I think that would be very wise. Thanks for your input on my silly mod, by the way.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm really looking forward to playing it. It sounds like it'll be quite the trip. Can't wait to see what the Natsuki route is like.
Not the Sayori route?
I'm already on my own Sayori route.
True. Do you have any idea what yours is going to be about yet?
I have a few ideas. One I like more than the others. But I'm not sure I want to do that one. It's not exactly the most original thing in the world.
Well, then I guess it all depends on how you write it and make it work, since not everything has to be groundbreaking.
Wise words. Whoever told you that must be a pretty smart guy.
He is. I suppose I'll see you at club.
Of course.
Good. Greet Sayori for me, in the very likely event that you see her before I do.
I will. And Yuri?
Yes?
Thank you so much for always being such a good friend. To me and to everyone. I don't know where I'd be without all your advice and help, and just your friendship generally, I guess.
That's very sweet of you, MC. I'm very glad to be your friend. You are going into the kind of person who will keep his own counsel and won't need my advice, I think. Now let's head down. I'm starting to get cold these days up here.